What makes a bad teammate in the NBA? Is it refusing to practice, stirring up locker room drama, or getting banned from your team while still collecting a paycheck? From all-stars to outcasts, these players had the talent, but their attitude told a different story. Did you know Stephon Marbury was paid not to show up for the Knicks? Or that Allen Iverson, despite being an 11-time All-Star, once refused to come off the bench? And Shaq? He threw jabs at teammates on the mic in the court. What drives players to sabotage their success? Is it ego, pressure, or something deeper? Stick around. We're breaking down the wildest teammate meltdowns. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a second of this chaos. Let's get started. Gilbert Arenas. Let's talk about Gilbert Arenas, a guy who could light it up on the court but lost the plot off it. Sure, he averaged 20.7 points per game over 11 NBA seasons. Pretty solid, right? But sadly, that's not what most people remember him for. So here's the wild part. Arenas once admitted to pooping in teammate Andre Blatch's shoes.
Is it true that you took a dump in one of your teammates' shoes?
No, I used my dog poop.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But
Yep, you read that right. Who does that? When asked, he just said Blatch deserved it. Do you think anyone could deserve that? But hold on, it gets worse. In 2009, things got way more serious. Arenas and teammate Javaris Crittenton had beef over a gambling debt. And what did Arenas do? He brought multiple guns into the locker room and allegedly even pulled one out during the standoff. No shots were fired, thankfully, but still, that's beyond dangerous. He later pleaded guilty to carrying an unlicensed pistol and got 2 years probation and 30 days in a halfway house. Crazy, right? Forget just being a bad teammate. This guy rewrote the playbook on it. So, would you trust a teammate who brings guns to work and poops in your shoes? Yeah, we didn't think so. Delonte West, one of the wildest teammate stories in NBA history. Ever heard of a player who checked all the wrong boxes? Delonte West did. Every single one. First off, would you trust a teammate who was accused of sleeping with your mom? That's exactly what happened between West and LeBron James when rumors swirled that West was involved with LeBron's mother, Gloria. Whether true or not, it broke the locker room, but it gets even crazier. In 2009, West was arrested while riding a motorcycle in Maryland, carrying 2 handguns and a loaded shotgun. Yes, a shotgun, on a motorcycle. Sounds like a scene from an action movie, right? And then, in 2010, while with the Boston Celtics, he reportedly punched teammate Von Wafer during practice. Not exactly how you build team chemistry. Now here's where it gets real. West was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2008, and it's clear he was battling more than just opponents on the court. So what do you think? Was he just a bad teammate, or someone who needed help and didn't get it in time? Either way, Delonte West's story is one of the NBA's most chaotic and heartbreaking. Enjoying the content? Tap subscribe and the bell to stay updated with every wild NBA moment. Stephon Marbury. What happens when talent meets turmoil? You get Stephon Marbury, a former All-Star with serious game, but just as many issues off the court. Let's rewind to the 2008 NBA season. When coach Mike D'Antoni called on Marbury to enter the game, guess what he said? No. Just flat out refused. Who does that? Even his cousin, Jamel Thomas, believes Marbury blocked a potential deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves, the team where he started his career. That's some deep family drama. But if Marbury is remembered for anything, it's his chaotic run with the New York Knicks. Hometown hero? Not quite. He clashed with Larry Brown, fought with D'Antoni, and had such a toxic presence that the Knicks banned him from games and practices, while still paying him. How bad do you have to be for your team to pay you not to show up? He had the skills, 2-time All-Star, Brooklyn native, flashy scorer, but his attitude made him tough to trust. Was it pressure from playing at home? What do you think? Was Marbury misunderstood, or just plain uncoachable? Allen Iverson. No one played harder than Allen Iverson. He threw his body into every play and gave fans everything he had, every single night. But behind the highlight reels and crossover moves was a teammate who could be, well, tough to handle. Remember the iconic practice rant?
We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice.
It wasn't just a meme. Iverson was notoriously late or absent from practices, frustrating coaches and teammates alike. He clashed with Larry Brown, Chris Ford, and Jim O'Brien, and his resistance to structure created serious tension wherever he went. Late in his career, Iverson's attitude became even more of a problem. When asked to come off the bench, he flat out refused. At that point, his ego had outgrown his game.
Any franchise players that come off the bench, I don't know any Olympian that come off the bench. I don't know any All-Star that come off the bench. I don't know any former MVP.
A tough reality for a player once named NBA MVP in 2001 and an 11-time All-Star. He didn't just burn bridges, he torched them. Every team he once starred for ended up parting ways on bad terms. Eventually, Iverson found himself playing overseas in Turkey for Besiktas, far from the NBA spotlight he once owned. So here's the question. Can greatness on the court excuse drama off it? Or was Iverson's downfall proof that talent alone isn't enough? Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq is a 4-time NBA champion, 2000 MVP.
1999-2000 NBA MVP, Shaquille O'Neal.
And one of the most dominant forces to ever play the game. But being a legend on the court, that didn't always make him a great teammate off it. Let's start with the drama. Who could forget the infamous rap where Shaq trashed Kobe Bryant saying, "Kobe couldn't win without me"?
Last week, Kobe couldn't do without me.
Their feud wasn't subtle, and it didn't help team chemistry. Even in 1999, Shaq publicly accused Kobe of being too selfish. Coach Phil Jackson had to step in and defend Bryant, saying Kobe was just trying to help the team his way. Shaq's pattern of throwing shade didn't stop there. After getting traded to the Suns, he slammed the Heat. Then, in Cleveland, he criticized the Suns' defense and called out Mo Williams for taking too many shots, asking, "Why was Mo taking 15 shots and I'm only taking 4? It didn't stop with basketball either. He's even rumored to have had an affair with Gilbert Arenas' fiancée. Yikes. Shaq's talent was never in question, but his ego, complaints, and locker room tension made him a tough teammate. What do you think? Was it just Shaq being honest, or did he take it too far? O.J. Mayo. When O.J. Mayo was picked 3rd overall in the 2008 NBA draft, big things were expected. But instead of stardom, we got a cautionary tale. His troubles started early. While playing at USC, Mayo was caught in a scandal for accepting improper gifts, violating NCAA rules. That should have been the warning sign, but it didn't stop there. In the NBA, Mayo tested positive for the steroid DHEA, though he claimed it came from an innocent gas station energy drink. Whether true or not, he was suspended for 10 games. Then there's the infamous plane altercation with teammate Tony Allen, all over a card game. Rumors swirled about a gambling debt. And let's just say, things got physical. Not exactly what you want from a guy you're supposed to trust on the court. He did have talent, averaging 14 points over 8 seasons. But he was a streaky shooter who never found his rhythm. Add in selfish behavior and off-court issues, and it's no surprise teams gave up on him. So what happened? Was it pressure, poor choices, or just not the right mindset? Either way, Mayo's story shows that being a top pick doesn't always mean you'll be a top teammate. Crazy, right? These guys had all the talent in the world, but their behavior made them impossible to play with. From pooping in a teammate's shoes to bringing guns into the locker room, some of these stories feel more like movie plots than real life. It makes you think, is raw talent enough if your attitude destroys team chemistry? Either way, the drama is unreal. If you're into wild NBA stories like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Who do you think was the worst teammate of all time?